You have a full-time job and you want to do something else. You want to have a passion project. You want to have a hobby. You want to have a side project. You want to have a different job, maybe at some point change careers. And you don't know how to handle your full-time job with your other project that you want to do on the side. If that is the case, this video is for you. I'm going to share a lot of tips and tricks on how to work on your side hustle while also working your full-time job. Hi everyone, welcome back, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Flor, and if you're new to this channel and you just discovered this video and this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and the notification bell to be notified of every new video I upload every single week. As I have mentioned in the first video I uploaded on my channel, that if you haven't watched it already, you can watch it up here and we'll also link down below. I graduated from university as a lawyer, and at the same time I did that, I started my own blog. I was actually sort of like juggling my full-time job from 9 to 5, let's say. It was usually later than 5 p.m., but let's just stick with that. And then at the same time, I was working on my blog, I was working on my social media accounts, my YouTube channels. So as you can imagine, it's something I have some experience in and that I do know a thing or two about that. Although I've been doing this full-time for the past 4 years, for most of my career as a blogger, I've actually been doing this while also managing another job. So if you plan on starting a new side project, a new passion project in 2021, then this video is for you, because I'm going to share all the tips that help me carry on with my blog and my social media accounts while also working a full-time job. The first tip is probably the most obvious one, and is to get organized. Getting organized is the only way to do this, and trust me, there's no other way. You need to get organized in order to be productive, in order to stay focused, and in order not to lose your mind. I have shared a bit about how I get organized when working from home in a previous video that will be linked up here and also down below if you haven't watched that already. But as you can imagine, having a full-time job, even if it's working from home, and having a side project apart from that, it's way harder. Something that really helped me when I was doing both things was to organize certain tasks on different days. For example, in my case, when you're doing photos for your blog or maybe videos for YouTube, using natural light is your best resource. And the truth is that most of the time the sun was up, I was actually in the office, so I was not able to actually be shooting with that natural light. So what I usually did was two things. On one hand, and during summer or spring, where days are usually longer and the sun is usually up for longer periods of time, I used to get up earlier and get prepared and film and shoot YouTube videos before actually heading into work. I would also shoot some videos right after getting back from work if I still had some light. And what I did the most was actually take advantage of my weekends. And I know you might think, well, but I do want to relax during the weekend. I want to do nothing during the weekends. I want to sleep or watch Netflix, and I totally get you. But if you're trying to juggle two things at the same time, there is no other way. So usually either Saturdays or Sundays, I will go out to shoot my looks. I will go out with photographers and get together to shoot 1, 2, or 3 looks, and I will film videos as well. And when you're doing this, something that really works is batching your job. And what I mean by this is that you do 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 of the same things all together. For example, if you go out with a photographer to shoot a look, you take 2 more looks with you and you get changed somewhere in the street maybe, or a cafe or something like that, and you shoot some other looks on the same day that you can then post throughout the week or in the next few weeks. Same with YouTube videos. If you sit down on a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning to shoot YouTube videos, it's better if you shoot 2 or 3 videos together. So you just have to do your makeup or get ready or do your hair just once, and then you change clothes between those videos in order to have 2 different pieces of content from the same day from just a couple of hours of work. Another great thing about getting organized is maybe put aside different days for doing different tasks. Let's say you do illustrations and you sell those illustrations. For example, you could do your work on Monday and Tuesdays, you draw, you illustrate, and then on Wednesdays you pack your orders and ship them, and then on Thursday you answer emails from your clients, and then on Fridays you do admin work, you update your website, you send invoices, you check for payments. Since your time is limited, you need to be able to focus on certain tasks on different days of the week, or maybe on certain hours if you have 2 or 3 extra hours. And you cannot do this if you do not get organized. So pick up that agenda, pick up that notebook, grab have your Google Calendar and get organized and see how you can juggle your 9 to 5 work with your side project. Another tip I have to share is to take advantage of your free time. And why I'm saying free time like this, it's because maybe in your regular job, you have an hour where you can go have lunch, or maybe you have an hour and a half, or maybe 2 hours, or maybe you can take 1 day per month that you can take for personal time. So maybe try to use those times, try to use just a few minutes of each day to do your side project. In my case, for example, what I used to do is that every day I would go out, have lunch by myself, and I would usually sit at either a library or a park or maybe a restaurant or a cafe. And while I was having lunch, I would actually work on my blog. I would either write blog posts, or I would publish photos, or I would be on social media updating my accounts. That was actually a great way of actually taking advantage of those times where you're not actually working, but in some way it's maybe the middle of your workday. If you're still going into the office and you have some time where you commute to work, use that time, use that hour in your train or that hour in the subway or the bus or whatever that time might be to actually work on your side project. If you can take your phone with you or your computer with you, you can work during that time. I know this might sound not very fun because maybe you're thinking, oh, I want to sleep while I'm on the subway, or maybe if I'm having lunch, I'd rather distract myself, read a book, or maybe watch a TV show for 20 minutes. But the truth is that when you are juggling a full-time job and a side project, you need to know that it takes a lot of work, a lot of effort, and sometimes it means sacrificing the time for relax or the time for fun in order to be able to work on your side project. I even remember when I was working at an office while also managing my blog, that while I waited next to the coffee machine for the coffee to be ready, and that might be like 2 minutes, I used those 2 minutes to be there with my phone answering to emails. It's just being able to take advantage of every little moment, every minute, every hour you can take up to set that aside for your side project. Of course, not taking time away from your main job. My third tip is to give yourself space and give yourself time. And what I mean by this is, although we like to be Superman or Wonder Woman or some superhero, we are not superheroes. So you get exhausted, you get irritated, you lose motivation, you just want to get a break, and that is perfect. If there's a weekend and you don't want to film a video, then that's perfect. If you need to take a break and maybe not publish a new blog post every single week, but maybe once every 2 days or once every week, that's also okay. If you take some time to answer emails and that is not your full-time job, that is also okay. If you need time to disconnect, time to be with your friends, with your significant other, to walk your dog, to go for a swim, go for a walk, go to the gym, that is totally okay. Actually being able to take those breaks is what it's gonna get you further, because you're going to be more inspired and you will want to work a bit more on that side project after taking some time off. I have to admit that for me, it's very difficult to take time off. If I'm not doing something productive at every second of every minute of each day, I get in a bad mood. And I know that's not okay, and probably something that I should work with a therapist. But I also know that if I don't take breaks, if I don't stop working at some point, I get burnout. And when you get burnout, then that's the worst situation you could be in. So remember to take breaks when you feel you need them, when you feel your body needs them, when you don't feel creative, when you don't feel inspired. Just take a break, give yourself some time, give yourself some space, and then come back re-energized. And the fourth and last tip I have to share is to give everything you have. And you probably heard this phrase that says, if you cannot stop thinking about it, don't stop working for it. Well, this is just about that. If your side project is your passion project, it's something that really makes you smile, that makes you get out of bed every morning, that gives you happiness even when your work days are really stressful, that makes you feel alive, well, don't stop working for that. If you feel that your side project is something that you would like it to be your main job at some point in the future, in 6 months time, in a year time, or 2 years time, or maybe at any point in the future, then don't stop working for it. Don't stop giving it all you can, all the extra time you have, all the extra energy you have, because I assure you it's totally worth it. Transforming a side hustle into a full-time job is definitely not an easy task, but what you need the most is hard work, effort, dedication, perseverance, and then more and more work. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in what you're doing, in what you're working on, in what you're creating. You have to love your personal project. You have to love your passion project, because it's the only way you're going to be able to put that time, that extra time you don't actually have, that time where you should be relaxing or having some off time. The only way you're going to use that time into some other project, it's if you really like that, if you're really passionate about it. And that's it for today's video. I really hope these tips helped you, somehow motivated you to get to work with your side project, to start a new project in 2021, if that's what you're aiming for. And if you're thinking, for example, about starting a blog in 2020, I've done a YouTube video about that. So we will link up here and also down below. And you can see all the tips and tricks I learned in the past 10 years. And if you need more help and more tips on how to work for yourself and how to be your own boss, please let me know down below, because I would love to make a new video about that. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. If you like it, as always, please give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you're working on, what your side hustle is, what your passion project is, and how you plan on making it happen in 2021. And if you're not subscribed already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and the notification bell to be notified of every time I upload a new video on my YouTube channel. And that's it. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.